This is an official Tucson Tyranny Response Team documentation. The following call is going to phone number 703-352-4225, and the organization on the internet, which I found at the Tucson Police Department site, is CALEA, which is Programs for Accreditation. Now we want to know, how can the TPD hold their accreditation when they're doing what they do. So we're going to call them and ask them right now. Today's date is October 13th, 2010. It is Wednesday. It is 1:19 p.m. Arizona time. Here we go on the call.
Hello. You have reached the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. If you know the extension of the staff member you are calling, you may enter it now or at any time during this message. To dial a staff member by name, press 1. To speak to an operator, press 0. Thank you.
Please stay on the line while your call is transferred to the operator.
Good afternoon, CALEA.
Well, good afternoon to you as well. First, I'd like to let you know that my office records incoming and outgoing calls. Second, I need to speak to somebody down there in charge that can tell me a little more about this accreditation, how a department can get it, and what they need to do to maintain it.
Okay, I can help you with that.
Okay, I'm referencing the Tucson Police Department that says that they're accredited on their website, to which I found this site and your phone number, and that's why I'm calling you. What exactly does that mean, accreditation? That they're supposed to be above certain standards or something of that nature?
CALEA is a non-profit corporation, and our business is we develop and maintain an accreditation program and process for public safety agencies. One of the programs we administer is for law enforcement agencies. We have a set of standards, 463 standards in that program. An agency has voluntarily entered into an agreement with CALEA to obtain our credential, which is called law enforcement accreditation. To achieve accreditation, an agency must be in compliance with the applicable standards for that size and function, and then go through a on-site review for called an on-site with our CALEA assessors, and based upon what the assessors determined during their visit, a report is written and given to our commission, and they make the decision on their accreditation status.
And there's 400 and something things they agree to do perfectly when they get accredited? Is that what you said? 400 and something?
There are 464 standards.
Standards.
In the standards. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a copy of that on your webpage here?
No, but you can purchase a copy. Our standards manuals are copyrighted and they are not available online.
Okay, I'm a research department, and did you guys offer any deals for researchers?
No.
Oh. Okay, how much is the manual?
$45 plus shipping.
Mm-hmm. Now, would the Tucson Police Department have a copy of that manual?
They would.
So is it possible, since they maintain it, I could get it under a public records request, even though it's copyrighted?
Well, they're not going to. They will. If you contacted the accreditation department, you will probably be able to arrange for a opportunity to view it. They cannot copy it.
Well, they can't, but I have a portable copy machine, and I'm a...
Sir, it's copyright protected. You can't copyright it. You can't duplicate it either.
Actually, you might be in error. In accordance with Title 17, U.S. Section 107, stuff can be released for non-profit. Such material can be made available for education purposes and research, and this constitutes fair use of the material as defined under Title 17 of the U.S. Section.
I believe fair use is maybe
research,
pages
teaching,
or a couple chapters or so. But as it's copyrighted material, you may not photocopy the whole manual.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to see what the Tucson Police has to say, because under research it's allowable for the copyright laws. I mean, people do it all the time for news shows. They reference another news show or certain material someone put together. But I don't want to argue with you about that.
I'm not a lawyer, sir. I don't know the law. I do know our material is copyrighted.
I know, but there's a lawful way around that constitutes fair use. But I won't argue with you about that. I already know they would have shut down my website if I was violating copyright laws, but I'm not, because I'm using the fair use clause. Is there any grants associated with them being accredited? Do they get federal grants or something because they're held to this higher standard, or you know anything about?
Not automatically, and it's I believe when any agencies have said that they felt that when they applied for a grant, having the accreditation award was seen as a positive for them, and may have helped them receive a grant. But that is not, no federal government or any other grants are tied into the CALEA accreditation award.
But it allows them to apply for them if they want them in the future.
No. I mean, anyone can apply for a grant, and there is no automatic tie-in. I think some agencies have gotten an award because they have demonstrated their excellence through accreditation, but that is not an automatic.
I see. Would some of the 400 and something standards probably pertain to the same as their policy, like following all state, local, and federal laws, and well, just like that? What are the standards for, to make them adhere to
No, we don't make them do anything. The standard is a statement of what the benchmark of what CALEA says a law enforcement agency should be doing. It does not. Our standard is not a policy, nor is it a procedure. All we are saying is this is what an agency should be doing. An agency writes their written directives to meet the standards.
And if they're not following their directives, does that mess up their accreditation if it's proved, or what?
If when they are, that's possible. When they are reviewed by their on-site team, if they are found not to be in compliance, that is noted on their report, and the commission will deal with that.
Well, is there a standard? I mean, you probably don't know all the standards, but basically they would still have to follow the law, their procedures, and the standards set a guideline for their policies, I guess, directives. And if they screwed up continually for, say, the period of the last year, and it was bunch of stuff was documented. For an example, I have a letter from the Internal Affairs, and they closed my complaint down, and they didn't interview any of the witnesses that I'm aware of, and it just.
I can't address that, sir. I'm not a commissioner. I don't sit on the commission. If any complaint is made to the agency, there is a standard that they are supposed to have a procedure for how to deal with complaints. If you believe that you were not, that some complaint that you made to the agency was not, they were not following their procedures, then you could call that to the attention of CALEA, and to the CALEA program manager. But beyond that, I cannot say what will or won't.
Okay, you just kind of hammered down the nail that was sticking up. I have cited their policies, procedures, and it was a total whitewash. So I'm going to go to the bank, put some money in my account, and I'm going to call you back and order that book. And then I'm going to follow up with these turkeys down here in Tucson TPD.
Well, you don't have. Well, you can do. Yes, you can order the standards manual. It will be, as I said, $45 plus shipping. I think it's $7.50. You can order that online through. If you order, with a credit card. Otherwise, you have to print out an order form and mail or fax it in.
Okay.
Okay.
And
and if you want to hold on for a minute, I can tell you who the program manager is for that agency, and you can speak with them directly.
Outstanding. Absolutely. I would thank you in advance for that.
Just have to get to a database.
Okay.